Hello, everybody. I know it's been a long time since you've heard my voice on this channel and since you've seen me do anything on this channel, but I figured, I've got time. I'm not really doing anything at the moment. Why not make some simple content and catch everybody up to date on um, what things are like for me right now? Since it's been several years since I've, I guess, really done any like toy-related content on my channel. As I don't know how many of y'all that are subscribed to me now have been subscribed to me since the beginning, but back in 2009 to 2015-ish, me and my friends Ryan and Donald, we had a toy review channel. That's what this channel was before. This channel was originally me doing artwork, and it was being recorded with my phone off camera or off to the side because I didn't have a way to stream it from my computer or record my screen. So I was just doing artwork, and then we had been watching channels like Pixel Dan for years, and Celine Halleck and Mitch Santona and Shartimus Prime and D Amazing. All these guys we've been watching for years, and we were like, we can do that. We've got camera phones and video editing software and computers and whatnot. We can do that. And it took off. My friend Donald, he came up with the name for the channel, which we don't use anymore because, well, we don't have a channel anymore. I mean, I have this channel. Donald has his own channel now called Inputs Reviews and Customs, which I did the intro for. I think he still uses that one. And Ryan has a full-time job, so he doesn't really do anything outside of work and collecting and watching stuff and playing games, whatever. We were in Austin yesterday with Sonny Castillo from Idiocracy, because he's a friend of ours. But we were just out there at a toy store called Toy Joy in Austin. But anyway, we had a channel. We don't use that name anymore because somebody else, another group of people are in the community currently uses that name. So I won't say it. But anyway, I figured I would catch everybody up on how things have been going since we disbanded. Like, we didn't stop being friends. Like, we all talk to each other still and hang out. We just don't do this kind of stuff anymore, really. But basically, what happened was around 2015, all three of us kind of got really busy with life and work. So we stopped making videos, and we had about probably over 300 videos or so on the channel. But then when that COPPA stuff started, I took everything down as a precaution because I was like, I don't know what's happening with that, and I don't want to take a chance of someone coming after us or anything like that. So I just deleted all of them, and I backed them up onto an external hard drive, and that's where they stayed for years. And then that hard drive ended up dying. And usually when I make a backup of anything, I have backups of backups of backups. Well, apparently I did not back up the backups. So all 300 plus of those toy reviews are gone. As far as I know, now I've got thousands of CDRs and DVD-Rs of stuff backed up around here. So it's possible that those videos are on one of those DVDs or several of those DVDs, and I just labeled them with whatever was on there, but forgot to label the review stuff. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I've been looking off and on for the last couple of years to see if I could recover them, but I have not found them. So anyway, we stopped. And then I tried to do video reviews on my own because I couldn't get Ryan and Donald over here all the time because work, life, whatever. And I've got kids and stuff. And I keep saying, I'm sorry, I can't. I should probably cut those out, but I'm not going to do that because I don't know if I'm going to keep making videos or not. But anyway, so I tried to do that on my own. And my buddy John, he's a musician. He gave me a theme song that he wrote, or some music that he wrote that I use as my theme song, which might or might not be at the beginning of this video. And I made an intro to go along with it for the channel. And I did that for a few months, I think. But it just wasn't the same without Ryan and Donald because it was like a dynamic, and I didn't like the way that they turned out without having my help basically or my friends. So I just I just gave it up. And so for years, all I did was continue to collect as I usually do and watch all the channels that I've been watching. And then over the years, I made friends with people who are, I guess, more people in the community and people who work in the toy industry. So I know a lot of those guys now. And then I just kind of, I guess, became part of different circles of a lot of different people in this whole collecting sphere. And that's where I've been for the last few years. Now, um, this year, one of my most of y'all know that I'm an artist. Like I've been an artist my entire life, and two of my goals, my life goals, have always been to work on two specific IPs, whatever, officially before I die. And luckily, somebody who had been keeping up with my work gave me or helped me get the opportunity to do that. And so, like, uh, last year, the books came out this year, but last year I did my first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cover for IDW for the Saturday Morning Adventures book, which was like I love the 1987 series and like the Fred Wolf series, and those first 5 episodes, especially the ones where they were very much like it was like Peter Chung's art, or you could see his influence, whatever, in his designs in the show. But it was very much the more detailed episodes out of the 5. That's like my favorite look. So whenever I draw the turtles, even as far back as sixth grade, back in the '90s, that was the style that I've always used. Like I love the turtles. So I, thanks to a young man named Jeff, he got me in contact with somebody at IDW, and they reached out, and I did my first cover. And then a few months later, I did a second cover. So I've done 2 so far. The second one has Usagi Yojimbo on the cover. Both issues were a special issue. So like the first one was an April focused issue with Ace Duck was in there as well. And then the second one was an Usagi Yojimbo special issue where it kind of continues where it left off, where he was in that cartoon, because it kind of just like they just left him alone basically. Anyway, those came out this year, and the other property, which I have not done officially, I have an official, unofficial, I have an unofficial crossover comic that I've been doing on my own, fan comic, that crosses over the '87 Turtles with Sonic the Hedgehog, which is my other obsession. I don't know if I'll ever get around to working on Sonic, either doing covers or I don't want to say interiors because interiors is not really my thing. Like that's the wife's thing. She does that full time professionally. I just kind of pretend like I know what I'm doing. But one day before all this is over, I would like to at least work on at least one cover for Sonic because that's like my other obsession, as I mentioned. But last year, I don't know how it happened. The doctors never found out how it happened either. But last year, I took a nap one afternoon towards the end of April, a few weeks before my birthday, and I apparently had a stroke, and while I was asleep. It didn't kill me, obviously, because I'm still here. But I woke up with Bell's palsy, so the left side of my face was droopy, which today has still not fully recovered. So it's been over a year, and I think it's as good as it's going to get. So you probably won't see me on this video. Like now, you do see me occasionally on other people's live streams, like Dave Wonder, and I don't know if I've been on Sunny streams. I know I'm in the chat all the time, but my face has only recovered so much, and I still have issues with my vision in my left eye. So like a lot of times, if I'm not drawing or posting anything new for a while, it's because I've been having problems seeing, and I can't. Like it's frustrating. So I just don't sit in front of the computer and do anything. Or sometimes my jaw, like on the left side of my face, will lock up if I yawn or cough or say a certain word, like forming certain syllables with my mouth. It'll just lock up and it just hurts like hell. So a lot of times I spend my day sitting at my desk or on my futon just mad because I don't know if I'm disabled. My dad says that I should probably consider myself disabled because my face and a good portion of the upper left side of my, I guess, neck torso area. It's not as strong as it was before. I can't like my left hand or my left arm or hand or whatever. I don't have the same strength that I had before. Even now, like I can't grip things as tight, and I do constantly drop things if I use that hand or whatever. Uh, it's frustrating. I've had to learn to kind of live with it, and there are some days where like it's just too much where I can't do it. Like I just don't want to do anything. I'll just sit here. But let's not get off topic about toys and stuff. So I am a collector, as most of you know. I've been a collector most of my life. We grew up with not a lot, and so like a lot of people, when you become an adult and you get adult money, you tend to buy the things that you couldn't really get when you were a kid because you just didn't have the resources. When we were kids, me and my sister, my younger sister, we would get an allowance of $5 every 2 weeks back in the 90s or 80s and 90s, which was, I mean, a decent amount for a kid back then. You can get quite a bit, or I mean, back then, because like I think GI Joe's were like $1.50 or whatever. Um, but anything that we couldn't get with our allowances, we got for like birthday presents or birthday gifts or Easter gifts, because we would get Easter gifts in our basket sometimes, or Christmas or whatever, right? So up until I turned 12, it was $5. After 12 years old, it became 20, and you could do a lot more with $20 back in the 90s. So I still have a huge collection of the original Playmates Ninja Turtles line, and that all came from my allowances. The same thing with my video games. Now, the video games you're seeing in this video, these are, I don't want to say modern because PS3 is coming up on being retro because it's almost 20 years old at this point. PS3 and 360. So I've had all these for a long time, but we didn't grow up with a lot. We weren't dirt poor, but we weren't middle class either. We were like between being like dirt broke and middle class. I guess like lower middle class or whatever. So we pretty much appreciated anything that we got from anybody. And most of the stuff that I've had that far back, whatever, I still have it because we always had this mentality that if you bought something, you pretty much kept it until it broke and you couldn't fix it anymore, or you couldn't replace it or whatever. So I still have my original, NES, my Sega Genesis, my 32X, which that's a story for another day. But I still have that. My Sega Saturn and Dreamcast, all my VCR. Sorry, I can't talk because that's another issue with the side effects from the stroke or whatever. My mouth gets all jumbled sometimes. But I still have my VCRs. Sorry, and all of my VHS tapes, which I have like a lot. I had to throw out a couple of hundred of them because they just degraded to the point where I couldn't watch them anymore over time. But I still have a few hundred of them. TV recordings, officially, bought movies and TV shows. But I collect a lot of things, mostly action figures and video games. But I do have a decent sized collection of DVDs, Blu-rays, stuff like that, like TV shows, anime, movies, whatever. So right now, what you're seeing is these are like the four bookcases in my man cave or the den, which, about a year ago, this was all in an office because I used to work out of a home office basically, but we had to make some rearrangements to make sure that all three kids had their own rooms. So I had to give up my office. So everything moved out into the den. I kind of situated things in a way to where, this whole section here, it still looks the way it did when it was in the office. The other side of the room, which I don't want to, I was out of town, like I said, so I don't want to like go around and show everything in here because I didn't have a chance to reorganize things. There you go. See, it's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. Anyway, uh, so everything is kind of out here now. What I wanted to talk about before I end this is so I love collecting Sonic stuff, especially. Uh, I have a gripe that I think I've voiced it in conversations with friends recently. I have a gripe with the way that Jax Pacific distributes these things, and I don't know if it's like a Jax thing or if it's a Sega mandate or something. And like I know it's like, every toy line has the mainstays like McFarlane. There's plenty of Batman figures because Batman sells basically. Transformers, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee sell. So with Sonic, I get it. Sonic, main character, Sonic sells. There's always going to be plenty of Sonic figures in a Sonic, line or whatever, right? The problem is there's a lot of characters that are fan favorites, and the Jax seems to only have them like one per case in each wave, or maybe it's like, I don't know the logistics. Maybe it's like one per case, or one out of one case out of like four cases that a store might get, whatever, right? So I walked into Target with Ryan after we came from Austin yesterday or last night. And luckily, I walked in there, and this Knuckles, which is from the third movie, which isn't out yet at the time of this recording, and Supersonic were on the shelf. I guess they had just been put out because the pegs were loaded up. And then this Knack the Weasel, Fang the Sniper was a Walmart thing, and it's the 2-inch version, which I don't know if they have a 4-inch version yet, but I need to get it. They did. And then the other two that we found were this classic Amy, which we were talking about earlier in the day about why there's no 4-inch version yet, but then there she is. And then Metal Sonic, which I did not realize he was coming. And then in this wave is a re-release of Modern Sonic and Vector the Crocodile, which, I mean, like I said, Modern Sonic or Classic Sonic and Modern Sonic will always be in these waves, whatever. Vector, I was not expecting to come back. I don't need another one, but I have them. But my gripe is some of these characters that are just like hard to find. I don't understand like what the logic is behind it to do such a thing. I don't want to like rag on Jax because I don't know anybody over there that I know of, but like there's got to be a way to get like right now I still need Mephiles the Dark and Neo Metal Sonic. Now Mephiles the Dark was going for about 60, $70. A few minutes ago I checked, he was going for like 33. So I was like, okay, 33 is better than 70, but it's still $13 more than I want to pay for it. Or 23, I can't do math right now. $23 more than I want to pay for it. So I haven't ordered them yet. Neo Metal Sonic was about 80 last time I checked, and then a few minutes ago I checked, he was like 44, which is still 34 more than I want to pay for it because you just can't find them out here. And I don't know if it's like my area or if it's just like a Jax Pacific thing. I don't know. It bothers me. But mainly what I wanted to do was check back in with y'all to let y'all know that I'm still alive. I'm still here. Like I know I don't upload art as much anymore or really much of anything on the channel, but I'm still here. I'm still making art when I can. I'm still collecting, never stopped collecting. Been collecting for like over 35 years, so I'm still collecting. And wanted to just check in with you guys to keep the channel alive, because most of the time when you see me or hear me, I'm on Dave's streams when Ethan decides to tempt me into hopping on when he purposely puts out misinformation about the Sonic figures he's opening just to get me riled up. But basically, I just wanted to check in with y'all, let y'all know that I'm still here. I might do another one of these in another location in the room when I've had time to clean up and rearrange things. I may not. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But anyway, I wanted to just check in with you guys, let you know that everything's fine. I'm still here, still making it, and yeah. I guess I'll see you guys next time. Maybe. Bye.